Hello everyone, another edition of the Auto Mark YouTube channel. Today we are doing a fundraising related video for a new initiative, PartiCanadien, Canada's party. We're seeking to provide an alternative today to the so-called mainstream political parties, Liberals, Conservatives, NDP, Green Party, the Bloc. All these parties do not seem to be representing the critical interest that Canadians have. They seem to continue to be ignored. You have Prime Minister Carney. At least he seems to be doing a decent job in trying to, reach new trade agreements in light of the crazy Trump down south of the border pushing for his imperialist, fascistic, authoritarian annexation agenda. At least, Mr. Carney seems to be doing a much better job than Prime Minister Trudeau would have done in this similar situation. So at least he's doing a better job in that respect in terms of these agreements. But as far as critical issues that Canadians continue to be concerned about, like universal public health care, when was the last time you heard Carney or any of the parties for that matter talk about the continued lineups, the continued headaches, the continued consternation that Canadians have for loved ones who cannot get timely medical care? This is not the type of Canada. This is not the Canada that Tommy Douglas supported when he founded our Canadian Universal Public Healthcare System. The idea of it of the Youth Universal Healthcare System was not only to provide free access to Canadians so that money would not be a impediment to healthcare, but to also to provide a high level of healthcare as well. We are not getting a high level of healthcare right now. So this new PartiCanadien, is dedicated towards focusing all those issues like public health care, which are continued to be ignored. Definitely healthcare is a critical issue. Then we have the declining urban infrastructure in across Canada and our cities, particularly emphasizing social services. Also, the proliferation of homelessness due to former Prime Minister Trudeau's irresponsible immigration policy, where he let in a whole bunch of new immigrants without ensuring there was housing and other services to support that new immigration, resulting in skyrocketing prices for rent and people not being able to afford rent, and decline in housing availability, resulting in a proliferation of homelessness. We also have problems with a lack of care with respect to substance abuse in Canada, just providing safe injection sites. This is not a responsible approach. We need an approach that gets people out of substance abuse into being the productive members of society and to themselves who they want to be. We have type of drugs going on and being circulated like fentanyl across Canada, which is a complete horrific. Nobody should be taking these type of drugs in any quantity, and it's causing people to be just, all sorts of critical deterioration in their health. We need a social services approach that's going to completely eradicate the need for people to feel as if they have to take these substances in the first place. We need to compassionate, humanity first, to quote Tommy Douglas, a humanity first approach, which underscores the need to ensure that the needs of Canadians are looked after before we start investing into infrastructure and other types of programs. We have, for example, the bullet train has been proposed, to go between Toronto and Quebec City and Ottawa, and we had the first leg of that being under construction right now between Ottawa and Montreal. Well, that's great. Good to have a bullet train, and it's definitely going to be good for business. But what about homelessness? What about the housing crisis? What about all kinds of problems that are taking place in Canadian society? What about people facing discrimination? This is a horrific problem, discrimination in Canada. people are not being able to access services, not being able to get jobs because of discrimination, and we have these human rights commissions, which need to get much more support as far as funding in order to address the type of irresponsibility that's taking place with respect to discrimination in Canada's largest institutions. So again, Parti Canadien is about, bringing together Canadians to express what they think are the priorities we should be focusing on. It's an elbows back up approach, which means that, Carney, the Prime Minister, was elected on elbows up, and he's been elbows down ever since. And, the Parti Canadien underscores the idea that you cannot negotiate trade with a lawless, wannabe authoritarian dictator. Neville Chamberlain tried that before World War II when he tried to negotiate with Hitler, thought he got a great agreement with Hitler, and then Hitler just ignored it, and then that went, and we got World War II. Well, we don't want World War III, and to avoid World War III, we cannot allow the type of authoritarian repeat that is taking place in the reincarnation of the Nazi regime in terms of what's going on in the United States. We need a governance, we need a leadership that's not going to capitulate, and elbows up was the right track, elbows down is capitulation. So if you are among those Canadians who feel that this is a capitulation, we need to stand up for Canadian sovereignty, we need to stand up for social services, we need to stand up for universal public health care, we need to stand up for the redress the homeless problem, the issues regarding First Nations, a whole laundry list of issues which are being ignored, which are resulting in the undermining of Canada at all levels. And then we have the Carney government not paying attention to what's going on with Quebec. Quebec is getting $13 billion in transfer payments, and all that's doing is providing the separatists with the basis of taking the money from the rest of Canada and then pretending as if it was all their own money, and are now trying to manipulate Quebecers into supporting their agenda. And Carney is not saying anything about it. Again, this is outrageous. We have the Supreme Court, capitulating, ignoring its own decisions to capitulate to the separatist agenda. I mean, this is just outrageous, this was going on here. So what we're doing is that we are appealing to people who are not happy with what's going on, who are looking for an alternative, to support Parti Canadien. The maple leaf that we have there is the original maple leaf design in 1834 that was chosen by the Saint Jean Baptiste Society, which the Parti Québécois continues to ignore in terms of its adoption of the fleur-de-lis, and which is basically the flag of the Bourbon monarchy. The Bourbon monarchy, which was overturned by the French Revolution, that was responsible for all kinds of atrocities. Well, that's the chosen symbol of Quebec. Again, all kinds of craziness going on, and it's like in order to support the Parti Canadien, we're asking for people to. This is the website we were able to bring together, PartiCanadien.ca. We have asked for Canadians out there who look to support us to email us, go to the website, go to contact us, and send us your email that you want to help sign up for people so that we can make Parti Canadien an official party, starting now to start talking up for the interests of Canadians. I mean, we're not going to wait for the next election. We're going to start talking about what needs to be done, how to represent Canadians which are not represented. We're going to, as soon as Canadians give us that support, by contact us and sending us your interest in signing up to be a member, please do so. Contact us, and otherwise, if you don't have time to become a member, or we ask you to make a membership pledge. Contact us and send a membership pledge by e-transfer. As little as $1, whatever you can afford, to editor@tobj.ca. That's editor@tobj.ca. There will be a link where you could send an e-transfer to in order to support our donation efforts. Send that to, look at the description below this video. Send your donation to editor@tobj.ca or contact us to learn more about what the party is all about. It's a great website we've put together, and we look forward to any questions that you have. Again, contact us to get involved and helping us become an official party, or send us a donation to editor@tobj.ca via e-transfer, or contact us and we'll send you a PayPal link if you do not have access to e-transfer for some reasons. Thanks for watching another edition of the Auto Market, and contact us about Parti Canadien. That's PartiCanadien.ca. That's the website. PartiCanadien.ca if you're French, Francophone, and help support our efforts to have an alternative political party that is going to defend the interests of Canadians, defend Canadian sovereignty, defend a just society for all, speak up for Canadians at all levels, bring together a common front which is supporting the needs of Canadians for a just society and a sovereign Canada. Thanks for watching another edition of the Ottawa Market, and remember to go to PartiCanadien.ca, support this party by becoming a founding member, start your own riding association. If you're interested and are passionate about what we have to say on the website, or send your donation to editor@tobj.ca. Thanks for watching another edition of the Ottawa Market.